Hello, welcome to Immigrating with Kathia. Immigration with Kathia is a show that wants to share information about immigration laws in the United States to help immigrants of every nationality navigate the sea of immigration law. So today we're going to talk about public charge and how the Supreme Court yesterday gave the okay to the government to implement the public charge regulation. So many years ago, in 1997 to be specific, the government created a law that says basically that you cannot come to the United States to become a public charge, which means you cannot come to the United States with the intent to live off government benefits. And so what happened was that this law was never a problem for immigrants in the United States because since we didn't have a social security number and we didn't have means to ask for anything because most were undocumented, then nobody was really being denied or rejected their green cards because they were in public charge. So last year, the government came up with a new definition of public charge. And the way the government does that is through the regulations. So one thing is the law, the Congress writes, and the law of immigration is the same since 1997. But then the executive branch, the Department of Immigration, writes a regulation on how to implement the law. So last year, the government issued a new rule, and this rule is called the public charge rule, and basically says, if you or your family members are using any public benefits, then you are considered a public charge. If you are working in the United States and you or your family members are working and you guys are not making over 250% of the federal poverty guidelines, you are a public charge. So this is really harsh on the immigrant population, but that's basically what the public charge rule says. And so it was announced like last year in October, and it was supposed to be implemented last year, but there was a lot of lawsuits against the public charge regulation. And these lawsuits end up being appealed to the 9th and the 6th and the 2nd Circuit. And we lost in 2 of the Court of Appeals, we meaning the immigrants. And these 2 Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the government. And one of the Court of Appeals in the 2nd Circuit said, no, I think the public charge regulation should be blocked until we decide if it's legal or not. And so the government went all the way to the Supreme Court. And yesterday, the Supreme Court said it's okay for the government to implement the new rule, and they should move forward with the new public charge regulation. So when I mean the government is going to implement the new rule, that means that the government is going to start using a new form. It's called I-944. And this new form is a very complicated form where the immigrants, not only the petitioners or not only the person who is sponsoring the immigrant, is going to the immigrant is going to have to explain how is that he is not going to become a public charge upon obtaining their green cards. This form will be used inside the United States for a process called adjustment of status, which is asking for the green card inside the United States. The public charge rule, it's also going to be implemented by the Department of State, which is the office that gives the green card outside the United States. When you petition somebody and that person is not living here, they need to go to the consulate of the United States or the embassy of the United States in that country. And over there, it's not that Department of Immigration who gives the green card, but the Department of State. So all of this has happened just yesterday. We are still trying to, we're waiting for the Department of Immigration to tell us what's the next steps. We are sure they're going to announce the 944, the form I-944 any time, any moment, and I will let you know when that happens. My first reaction, of course, is not a good reaction. I'm not happy about this new public charge regulation, but I don't think people should be, upset and demoralized and depressed about this. I think we know what this rule is all about, and we need to as immigrants, we need to put ourselves in the best situation in order to have good arguments of why we are not going to be public charges. And so I'm going to keep doing my cases. I'm going to keep trying really hard to help people become legal permanent residents in the United States. So I don't think people should throw the towel and say, okay, I'm not going to do it. No, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think we should keep fighting for what's right and for our ability to obtain our legal documents in the United States. I am going to go through a few questions in English. I apologize for my voice, but I'm having some throat issues, but I already went to the doctor, so pretty soon my voice will be normal. Anna says, good morning. When do you think this will start? Well, I think that by this Friday, we should be getting some kind of memo from the government, and the form I-944 should be in the USCIS website. So it's coming pretty fast. It's pretty soon. Hello. If FHLMC is considered public charge, I don't know what is FHLMC. I'm so sorry. I live in Las Vegas, so I don't know of other states the names of the programs. Good morning. How are you? Hi. Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, those are mortgage loans. If you apply for FHA loan for your house, that is not considered a public benefit. That it's something that it's provided for people who are buying their first house, and the government has special plans. That is not considered public benefits. Strong says food stamps you meant. Yes, food stamps are considered public benefits. Food stamps, Medicaid, housing, cash assistance, SSI, all of that is considered a public benefit. Let me see. I'm looking for English questions because I'm in the English show. If you want to go to the Spanish show, I'll be there at 8:30 in the morning. Anna says, my husband made $60,000 this year. He's petitioning me and my 3 kids. We have a baby. I don't work. I take care of her. The 3 kids are in Venezuela. Are we a public charge? I want to say, no, you are not. Your husband is not making under the federal poverty guidelines, which is good news. However, I don't know if you're a public charge or not, because it not only depends on how much he makes, it depends on many other factors. So you're going to have to sit down and talk to a lawyer in person, and that lawyer is going to ask you for the credit report of your husband, your credit report, for records of any type of public assistance that you may have received for you, your husband, or your kids. So it's now a big research that the lawyer has to make in order to determine that you're safe or not doing this. Sammy says, good morning, abogada. My son has autism and has a medical, and I have a case pending in immigration to renew my green card. Is that affect my case? No, if you are renewing your green card, this has nothing to do with you. This is for people who don't have a green card and are applying for the green card for the first time. Marloy says, how would this affect permanent residents? Right now, the public charge regulation is only for people who are not legal permanent residents. So if you are a conditional permanent resident, if you are a permanent resident, this is not for you. So you can read. Now, it's a good opportunity for me to tell you this. Now that the public charge regulation it's in effect for the new people, we know that the government has already written a new public charge regulation for legal permanent residents. So if you are a legal permanent resident and you are receiving public benefits, if you can avoid them, please do, especially if you are receiving public benefits within the first 5 years of receiving your green card. Okay? Well, thank you very much for being here with me today. I am very honored that you came to the English show without any notifications. I just decided to do it today because I was feeling better and I was getting my voice. So thank you for being here. I will do my best to try to do another show in English as soon as I can. And let's keep our attitude positive. We cannot just throw yourselves and decide that we're not going to do anything because of this. No, we have to keep fighting. We will all obtain our legal permanent resident cards someday. We just have to keep doing what we're doing, which is working hard, honestly, being good and responsible citizens of this country. Okay? See you soon. Bye.